Hi guys, today I am going to be making a Christmas card and I'm going to be using this gorgeous little image here of our owl with his little Christmas hat. Now I've already coloured it in and I use my Copics to do that. But as you can see, I've left the little Christmas baubles there blank because that's the part that I'm wanting to sort of show you as well as the making of the card, because I've got these gorgeous foils, as you can see they're absolutely stunning, and I want to make my baubles really shiny using these foiling. So it's a very simple process. You get your special foil adhesive, which we've got here, and all we're going to do is going to take as much of the adhesive as possible off the brush, and then we're going to paint in our little baubles very carefully. You can see we don't really want as much as that coming on there, so but because it's such a small circle it's hard to get it to go really thin, because you need to stroke it out. Okay, and then we'll just correct this one a little bit because it hadn't quite gone to the edge. There we go. So now what we need to do is leave that adhesive to pretty much dry. I don't know if you can see it, how it is in this light. You can see it's kind of bobbly. Now if possible you need to get it even thinner than that, but because, as I say, it's on these little tiny circles, if you look at it, the size of it compared to my fingers, it's a very small little image, so it's hard to get that small. You could use a different brush, but you know, that's fine. So we're now going to leave that to dry, and I know that sounds weird leaving the glue to dry, but this adhesive dries to a tacky finish, and if you don't allow it to do that then the foil won't stick. It's too wet and it's not tacky enough, so the foil doesn't stick to it. So we're going to leave that a few minutes and let that dry, and then I'll come back to you and we'll do the actual foiling. Okay, so I think that's done enough now. It's always a bit harder to tell on paper that's white, but it looks kind of shiny, cleary, bluey colour and not that milky white. So I think that we're there. I've cut some little pieces of foil off. Now, green piece first of all. And then we're going to go very carefully, just going over that one little bauble. And we're going to do the two outside ones first, and then just gently rub. And then peel off very carefully, just making sure, yep, and there is our first little bauble, and I'll show you that a bit further away in a minute. And then I want the red down the other end, so again I'm going to do the other end first, because to do the middle we're going to touch the others a little bit. So, and then lifting that up, and then we've got our three little baubles done. And okay, now you can see, hopefully, there we go, how gorgeous and shiny they are. So, but I think that looks really, really pretty. Okay, so that's that bit done. So we're just gonna now put the actual card together. I thought that it would be fun to use this die that is on the front of the Tattered Lace magazine, issue 24, and it is a mini side stepper die. So we've got all our elements here, all our little pieces, so we're going to put those to one side for a minute, and we're going to get our main piece of red card that I want to use, and I'm going to use my Cuttlebug today. So we've got here my A plate, my mat, my B plate, piece of card, my die, and then my B plate to finish off. Just push that over a little bit just to make sure, and then just wind it through and then grab this, and there we have our mini stepper card, side stepper. So we've got in here, you can just see the score lines as well. So we're going to fold that in a moment, but we're going to finish all our die cutting first. So we're going to cut our little owl first. Now I want to use this piece which goes across the card and underneath to make with our coloured pattern paper. So I'm going to use the next square die down, this has got the little dots on it as well, to cut out our owl. So we want to just position that pretty carefully because we don't want it to move. And then I'm going to get some tape and just stick that down. And now, as you can see, it's going to cut some of the shape, some of our design away. I'm not worried about that. I often think that looks quite nice. I quite like sort of when it really is tight like that. So let's then take our cuttlebug and then just wind that through. And doesn't that look cool with the little dots on it? Okay, so that's that piece done. So then I need, just throw that over there. I want to cut this piece out in a piece of pattern paper. Okay, so I picked out this paper that I'm going to cut out with, and then I'm going to actually cut one of these out just by hand with a pair of scissors, I think, as a little sentiment. Unless we've got, I don't think we've got a circle, we've got ovals but not circles. So I'm going to put my little owl to one side and my card, and then I'm going to get my paper here onto my mat. So we've got, again, A plate, rubber mat, B plate, and then my paper. So we want to position this so that this piece off to the side here is in a nice place for some words. So like here it's going to say that you're going to catch the word Christmas. So we'll just pop that down like that, and then put the lid on it. That's our second B plate, and that's just cut out lovely. Our little cuttlebug's a good little workhorse. And there we go. And just pop that out, and that's got all kind of little holes. And can you see now, because we positioned that carefully, we've got that Christmas part on that piece that's sticking out. And what I should have done is cut this little piece out at the same time, because it would have saved us a trip through the machine, because we've got the little panels here, and I think if I can work out my folding correctly, there should only be this one that's going to be showing frontwards. So I just want to do a panel there and just cut that out. And then I just managed to get the word nice, which worked out well. So that's all our elements cut, I think, except for I did want to cut this, and I'm just going to do that by hand with a pair of scissors. So there's our little sentiment there, and I think that's going to look cute. So you've got your die cut card now, and you've got a line that goes all the way across. That's your centre fold line, and then you've got a line. I've slightly folded these so you can actually see them because they weren't showing up that well, but then you've got a piece at the back. This is the back of your card, the one with the piece that's just one single piece up to that centre line, and then you've got several folds there. So you're going to fold the centre fold up and that side down, and then very gently just ease that one as an up, then a down, then an up, then a down and an up, and then just ease it into position and then squish it down. And then we're just going to get our bone folder and we're going to go across all of those folds so that they're all really crisp and sharp and sitting down nicely. And as you can see, it's very easy to do. And there we have our little card. So what I realised was I cut out the pieces for here, but I used the wrong bit. So I used the tiny little one with the holes in that said, but it's too small and not the right one. So I'm going to just recut it. I've got a longer piece here. They're both the same width and a slightly shorter one. So I'm just going to cut those out in this paper and then I'll come back to you. So here are all my elements. So I finally cut those other bits out as well now. So that's going to work good. So we're just going to take this piece, and you don't have to, you can choose whichever elements you want and how you want to put them on. So you might not want to have this section here. You might want to just leave it blank and have an oval there. You know, you can choose it how you want it to be. But I thought it would look just fun having that there. I'm going to put that flat. It's much easier to make sure it's even. There we go. Stick that on there. Then take this piece. And I managed to get the Noel on there, which I think is kind of cute. I just want to make sure I'm on the right piece. It's that one there. Cool. And then this one here, I managed to get most of the word Santa, and that's going to go on there. And then when we fold that back to how it's supposed to be, there is our little card, and that looks so cute. And then, so for our little owl, I just cut a piece of red using my trimmer just to mount him onto that, because I've just done that like that, and I think that makes that just pop out really nicely. Now you could 3D that if you want, but since this is a cute little card, I'm going to go for just keeping it really flat, and almost you could use these as place cards if you were doing like your Christmas dinner, or you know, anything like that would be quite fun. But I just think it's just cute having it nice and flat, and you've built up quite a few layers anyway. So that's that, and I think, to be honest, I just want them on the corners of my little owl there, just to add a little extra something. And that's that. So there is our little card. Isn't that just adorable? I think these would be really nice just as little cards like this to send out to people, but also just as sort of little place cards and things like that. A wedding, I mean, because obviously I've done this as a Christmas card, but the die, you know, is blank, so you could do this for anything. And I could see these really working well at weddings as place cards or things like that. I think that would be really cool. But anyway, that is our mini foiled owl card. So I hope you've enjoyed making this little card with me. I hope you like the finished results. And that is it for now. I will see you again soon. And don't forget to hop on to the blog post that corresponds with this video to see the photos, etc. And if you're on YouTube, click the link below and it will take you straight there. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!